Warning, there's a rant coming up. A week ago I vlogged about the fact that theatres in Nice and cinemas have opened. I vlogged about the fact that the National Theatre of Nice, which I think has two houses, two auditoriums, one is about 800 seats, was going to start running a full programme of indoor events from September the 29th. That it was going to do outdoor performances up to that. Then yesterday I watched the British Prime Minister's announcement about what could and couldn't open. Obviously pubs, vital to open. Gyms, not that vital to open. You pay your money, you take your chance. I like getting pissed as much as the next man, but it seems a very strange world in which you can have a pub, but you can't have a gym. One makes you well, one makes you ill. It might cheer you up, but eventually it'll bring you down. Anyway, I stomached that bit. And then we got to the fact that cinemas could open in Britain, but theatres couldn't. Well, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, it's to do with social distancing and the fact that casts, and if one of the cast members gets ill and we can't ensure the show and all of this stuff. Well, I accept all that. If Cameron Make a Lot of Dosh doesn't want to put Hamilton back on because he might lose a lot of dosh because the cast has to be pulled off or the show has to be stopped mid-run, that's his business. But what I don't accept is that all theatres in Britain have to remain dark until we get a vaccine. It doesn't make sense. If you can fly an aeroplane with a full complement of passengers and crew, and believe me, that is what is going on. I did this exact flight 4 weeks ago, a BA flight from London to Nice. It was practically full. There was no social distancing. The staff weren't wearing masks. Yes, there were arrangements for us how to get on to try and stop us cramming in the corridors, but you were still cramming up the aisle, putting your suitcase in the overhead locker, etc. If that is allowed, if that is safe, then why is it not safe to open a theatre of, say, 800 seats, playing to 400 people, of a one-man show? I've got quite a lot that I've written. I'll cheerfully bring one over and perform it if anybody wants to make the offer. But that's not why I'm saying this, because you could put comics on, you could put solo shows on, you can put readings on. Simon Callow can give us his Dickens again, or if he thinks he's shielding because he's too old, then some Simon Callow impersonator can do it for him. There is no reason why theatres have to remain dark. And it strikes me that whenever I read stuff about the theatre industry, we're all sat around saying, please invest, government, please do this, please do that. And I agree with all of that. The government is going to have to invest to save the British theatres. It is as simple as that. There is no two ways about that. I'm not making any bones about it. But what I don't accept is that we have to stay closed until the end of days. That we can't have Christmas shows, because that itself will absolutely cripple the British theatre and cripple the funding of the British theatre. Now you say to me, this is impossible. Well, I tell you what, it's not. Because in Paris, last night, an 800-seat theatre played to 450 people, I think was the exact figure, including one of the French ministers of culture. It was a solo show, a famous actor, I don't know who he was, he's French. He came on, he read some bits about disease, he made some jokes about this, he made some jokes about that. Apparently the French minister of culture even took his mask off in the theatre. But there was some level of social distancing, there were gaps between the seats, but a show occurred. It is possible to do it. And if people say, well, we can't insure the audience and the audience will sue the theatre, well, do what Donald Trump did. Get them to sign a waiver as they go in. I'll cheerfully sign the waiver to be the performer. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't need social distancing if I was performing because there wouldn't be that big a crowd. But let's be honest, theatres are often not that full. This thing is doable. And we shouldn't be just sat back accepting the fact that you can fly to Alicante, you can have your hair cut, but you can't go to the gym and you can't go to the theatre. Nobody's suggesting we're going to put on a huge production of Ibsen with 28 in the cast. Nobody's suggesting that we open Hamilton next week or Mamma Mia or whatever. But it is possible to stop these theatres being dark. It is certainly possible to stop the fringe theatres being dark if they want to. And, of course, crucially, if the government will allow it. So this is my rant, and it comes down to the simple thing that if it's safe to fly on a full plane without a gap between the seats, without anybody, with somebody sat right next to you here, somebody sat right next to you there, somebody sat right behind you, then it is safe to go into a theatre with masks, with hand sanitising, with them demisting that they're doing in cinemas, which is meant to kill germs in the air, with proper checks, with the thermometers that you use as you go in. I mean, for God's sake, they were using those on us in the most basic restaurant in Thailand back at the end of February. And we're suddenly in Europe going, oh, we've got this new idea. We'll check people's temperature like we're some kind of geniuses. So that's my rant. My rant is that we should not lay back, just wait for this government to finally get round to trying to bail us out. Meantime, everybody loses their job in the theatre and the shows don't go on. By all means, do outdoor shows. By all means, do all of that. But we can also do indoor plays or certainly solo shows this year. We don't have to wait for a vaccine. Yes, there will be clusters, there will be second outbreaks, or there will be the first wave continued, or it'll be the second wave, or it'll be a third spike, whatever we're going to call it. Everybody knows that now we are unlocking, this is inevitable. But if we're unlocking for every other industry, why the hell can't we unlock for theatres? What is uniquely dangerous about a theatre? That's all. Have a good day. I'm glad I got that off my chest. See you soon. Bye.